So we're going to look at expanding and simplifying, and the difference between expanding on its own and expanding with simplifying is simplifying basically refers to the fact that we will need to do some collecting like terms after we've done some expanding of the brackets. So if we have a look here, we've got two sets of brackets, which is not what we were used to. We were doing single brackets in the previous examples. So the first thing that I do to sort of help with structure and clarity of working out is I will draw a line straight after the first set of brackets. And the reason why I do that is because we're going to expand the brackets on the left hand side of this line and the right hand side separately. So that's the first thing we're going to do. So we're going to do 5 multiplied by y, which is 5y, and then we're going to do 5 multiplied by positive 3, which is positive 15. So that's the left hand side bracket expanded. Now we're going to do the same with the right hand side bracket. We're going to do positive 2. Remember that's positive 2. It's not just 2 on its own. We have to remember that this sign is very important. Positive 2 multiplied by y is positive 2y. And positive 2 multiplied by positive 7 is going to give us positive 14. Now we are at the stage where we can now collect the like terms. So if we go ahead and look at the 5y, we need to look at other terms and see if there's a y variable in the other terms. This one's 15 on its own, this one's 2y, which is what we want, and this one's just 14. So we can now collect 5y and 2y, and that will give us 7y. And then we'll see if we can collect anything else. So we've got positive 15 and we've got positive 14, and we can collect these two together because they are just numbers or constants. And so we have 15 add 14, which is going to give us 29 plus 29. So that's the final answer once we've done the expanding and simplifying. Now let's go ahead and look at the second example. This example is a little bit different because of the negative signs in the second bracket. So the way we start the question off is very similar to the first. We're just going to go ahead and expand the bracket on the left hand side first. So if we have a look at the bracket on the left hand side, we've got m times a, which is am. We've got m times positive 7, which is positive 7m. And now we're going to expand the bracket on the right hand side, and we have to be very careful here. That term on the outside of the bracket is minus a, or negative a. So we're going to do negative a multiplied by 4, which is negative 4a. And then we're going to do negative a multiplied by negative 3m. Be very careful with our rules of negative numbers. A negative multiplied by a negative is a positive. So we're going to have positive 3m times a is 3am. And now we're going to do what we did in the previous example, which is collect like terms. So we'll look at the first term and see if we can collect anything with it. The first term is am, and we're going to have a look and see if there's any other ams. So that one's just an m on its own, so we can't collect that. That one's just an a on its own, so we can't collect that. However, this one is positive 3am. So we can collect those two together. am plus 3am is going to give us 4am. And now if we have a look at the other terms, there's nothing that we can collect, but let's just double check. We've got plus 7m here. Do I see any other terms with an m on its own? I don't. So therefore that will just stay the same. It's just going to remain plus 7m. And we'll have a look and see if we can, well, we know what the answer is going to be because there's no other terms to collect with the minus 4a. So the minus 4a, just as the 7m did, will stay as it is, and we've got minus 4a, and so that's what the answer will look like for that example.